Hey folks, Andy Barrar here, Handy Andy from handyandymedia.com, and today I'll be doing a review for Best Buy's blog on this product right here. It's a smartwatch from Amazfit. It's the T-Rex 2. Now, in this review, we're going to look at the rugged design of this smartwatch. There really isn't anything like it that I've reviewed in the past. We'll discuss some of the notable features, namely the fact that it tracks 150 different sports modes. And then finally, I'm going to get right into it and we're going to test it out and basically see how it performs, both as I'm jumping rope. That's right, this does track jump rope, so you're going to see a lot of jump rope footage. But also, I used it while I went for a walk, while I went for a run, and also for strength training. So we're going to go ahead and look at that data. I haven't even looked at it yet, so we're going to do a live looking on my smartphone. So without further ado, let's get it, folks. Sit back, relax, get your popcorn ready, and cue the intro. So let's go ahead and start with the design of the Amazfit T-Rex 2 smartwatch. This has a durable build. It's actually got military grade type of classification, so it can handle wind, dust, rain, you name it. This thing is built for the elements. In fact, you could use it in weather as low as minus 35 degrees Celsius. Like, that is cold. Now, you'll notice that there are two different ways to operate this smartwatch. Of course, you have a touch display on the front, so you can use that to navigate through the different types of screens. But there are also 4 different buttons strategically placed around each corner. And between those, you're going to be able to see everything from the weather to other different types of notifications that you might get off your smartphone. And also, of course, all the workout data, your heart rate, PAI, which tries to measure your activity levels for the week so you can hit certain types of thresholds. So really, if you're looking to gamify activity, a watch like this is going to do the trick for you. Now, I mentioned in the intro that this supports 150 different sports modes. And I have to say, toggling through all the different modes, there really isn't a workout that you're not going to find in here. Everything from golfing, strength training, swimming, you name it. But what really got me excited was the fact that it tracks jump rope. And if you don't know, I learned to jump rope during the lockdown, and something I learned from scratch for the first time off YouTube. And since then, I've become completely addicted. The thing is, there's not a lot of activity trackers that track jump rope, so I was really happy to see that this does it. And we're going to discuss my experiences using it with the jump rope to see how accurate, in fact, the data is. So now I'm going to take a look at the workout history of what I was doing earlier today. Let's start with the walk. Now, what was interesting is I was walking home from the gym, and it could automatically determine, the watch that is, that I was walking. And it asked me if I wanted to start a workout. And I said, sure, let's do it. Now, what was interesting is it knew that I was walking. It didn't start the workout from the time that I turned it on. It started from the time I started walking. So at the time that I got that notification, I was about 5 minutes into a walk, and it tracked that data. And you can see on the map over here, it is showing the walk from the gym back to my home. That's about 1.27 kilometers. I did that in about 14 minutes and 14 seconds. And my max heart rate was 103. Now, let's go take a look at the speed. So it's a very standard, steady walk. In terms of the heart rate, the average was 93. The max was 103. From using other activity trackers, I'm going to say that that is pretty darn accurate. So that's the walking, but let's go into the jump rope session that I did earlier at the gym. So in the app and also on the watch, you can set your goal. I set for 2,000 jumps, which is typically what I do every morning. And you could see the heart rate and the variability. And this is why I love jump rope, is that it's such a great cardio workout. And you can see that it shows there's a lot of variability in my heart rate, and that's because I start and stop to take a breather or get some water. Now, in terms of the heart rate zone, it's got it all broken down into the VO2 max, anaerobic, aerobic, intensive, and light. It shows you the frequency, the training effect. Again, really good data. However, the question is, how accurate is this data? Well, here's what I did. When I first got the watch, I was jumping rope at home and I did a little test. I sat there and tried to jump consecutively without tripping and counting how many times I could do it. I think I did something around 62 jumps. And then as soon as I stopped, I checked the watch to see what the watch said, and it said about 67. So it's pretty close. The question that I have, and the fact is, when I jump rope, I'm doing a lot of advanced moves like crisscross. I'm doing just a whole variety of different moves like double unders. And I don't know how this watch tracks that. So I think it might be giving me more jumps than I'm actually doing because of all these advanced moves that I'm doing. But I still like the fact that I can track the jumps. I could change it to durations and saying, you know, stop at 30 minutes or 25 minutes. But I feel that if I was to use this every day, even though it might not be a true 2,000 jumps, it's going to be consistent each time. So I'm okay with that, provided that this becomes my standard smartwatch. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at this morning's run, because the first run that I did, it said my heart rate was really low, and I wanted to do it one more time. So let's go check it out. And I ran pretty hard today, so I expect this data to show that. Now again, 1.35 kilometers. This was a run to the gym. Took me 5 minutes and 50 seconds, which is pretty close. Takes about 6 minutes. I did try to run a little faster today. But like, look at this heart rate. It says my average heart rate was 130 and the max was 147. Feels a little bit low unless I'm really in good cardio condition. 147 max heart rate just doesn't seem that much. So I'm unsure how accurate this data is right now, but it shows my cadence. Now that seems just about right. I do on average 180 steps per minute, and this is showing that. So that I feel is accurate. It shows the training effect, which was weak for the aerobic, which is 1.2, anaerobic 0.01. It even shows your laps if you're really getting into that type of level. So this data looks pretty good. I'm a little shocked by the heart rate, but it was only a 6-minute run. So maybe in fact my heart rate never reached over 147. So overall, I have to say, I do like the data that this watch, the T-Rex 2, provides. Me personally, I'm not really a big guy. I don't really have like big arms. So I feel that when I do have it on the wrist, it looks a little bit big. And you know, you have to understand, I'm jumping rope. My hands are, especially during the crossovers, are getting really close. So I noticed that I'm kind of hitting it all the time. I feel that I could get used to it over time. Also, I noticed that the heart rate, you really want to have a nice, tight, snug fit to capture that heart rate. And I'm noticing that with this, that if I wear it for a long time, the buckle on the band kind of starts to hurt my hand. It kind of like presses in. So I think it might take a little bit of time. But if you are someone that works out and does a lot of different types of workouts, both indoors and outdoors, you want a smartwatch that can handle the elements. You don't want something that's delicate. Something like the T-Rex 2 is going to be good for you. I don't really think this is made for women. Just by, if you look at this design and the thickness of it, I don't think this will appeal to women. But certainly for men who really like to train and train outdoors, the T-Rex 2 is definitely something you want to consider. Runners as well. If you like running, this has GPS built into it. The positioning is fantastic, and the data that comes into the app is stellar. How accurate it is, you never know with these smartwatches, but don't get too concerned about that. Get concerned about just knowing that as long as it's consistent day in, day out, that's really what matters. Not the accuracy per se, but as long as it's consistent, you should be good to go. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed this review of the Amazfit T-Rex 2 smartwatch. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, and leave your comments below. If you want more information about your boy, you can hit me up on my website, handyandymedia.com. I also have a YouTube channel. I do a lot of DIY, how-to content, and of course, tech as well. So you want to subscribe to that. Andy Barrar, Handy Andy from Handy Andy Media, signing out. See you again next time.